Hi, this is Larry Zorro. Have you been informed that we should be eating bugs? Insects? Insects are great sources of nutrients with 80% protein by weight. And they have energy rich fat and micronutrients and minerals. Eating insects also provides more iron than beef and provides a great source of iron. To combat iron deficiency in people around the world, you should be eating your bugs. Eat your bugs. Insect farming and processing produces significantly lower greenhouse gas emissions. Not only do insects produce less waste, their excrement, called frass, is an excellent fertilizer and soil amender. And that brings me to the point. I've been eating my bugs for a long time now. I eat it in a form of soil. That's right. I add them into my soil after toasting them a little bit in my biochar can and an open fire. And then I'll place it into my soil, and it'll enrichen the soil. The plants will be more enriching, and when I eat the plants, I get the nutrients from the bugs. Yes, indirectly, I've been eating the bugs. Now, someday I plan to have a mealyworm farm. I love to grow a lot of mealyworms and then do that little biochar, toasting up the critters and putting them in my soil too. Yeah, I might be doing that. Yeah, my second half of my life, I'm 65, plan on living another 65 years. So there you go. I have plenty of time to start myself a mealyworm farm. Well, first I want to show you a picture of my cucumbers. I forgot from starting them in pillars last year how big the leaves are getting. They really get big. In fact, all your plants get pretty big. Look at this echinacea, how tall it is. Well, let's get to it. Let's get right to it, that potato trough. That's right, I just made it with some pieces of wood, dug out one hole, tilted, angled, 6 pieces of wood. Yeah, what was it, like 51 inches tall? Some of that goes into the ground. And then I wove in some long pieces of wood. And then at the bottom of this trough, I put a little wire. I had wire. I don't think you had to put any wire. But I didn't want to take chances on the soil, leaching out of it. So I did. I put a little wire, filled it up with a mixture of soil, a mixture of hay. I did it about twice, used about 2 bags. And then I planted my potatoes. Yeah, you can take a look from the pictures, but the hay I used was aged by this simple trick. I show you in my book how to make the donut. The donut, hay bales, you could call them, but they have no twine. They're just circular, and they have a hole in them. And that's for the aeration. It just, hot air comes up out of that hole. And if you put a plastic on top of it, it'll really steam that bale. It'll age in no time. I think I've used one that was only like a week old. It was garden fantastic. Yes, it was. Well, anyway, I grew about 6 potatoes. And I'm ready. That'll be the last of my potatoes. And I think I'm just going to grow corn. I finished off 2 other pillars, and I transplanted some pepper plants in them. And I'm just going to make corn. Then I'm going to go on with this other idea that I have. I'll have to show you later. It's kind of making a pillar for my alfalfa. And then I put that on the property. I'll let it go full bloom. It'll drop its seeds, and it should be like a generator in which, the alfalfa start growing up around this pillar. And I want to do that in the field. I want to really help the clover to grow. No, well, not the clover, but the alfalfa, which is like clover. It fixes nitrogen into the soil. And I might do one with clover, too. But, the idea of having your field with these nice crops, and you come by and you mow them. If you're like me, you just come by, you want to use it, and you're going to be cutting it at the wrong time. The seeds, the seeds, they're forming, and you just cut them down, prematurely cutting them down, and they don't have a chance to grow. That's why you got to mow your field in the right time of the year. But to me, if it gets tall enough, I want to mow it. But I want these generators there to always producing the seed. And it'll go to full bloom, full seeding. I'll have to show you that. And maybe it won't work, but I'm going to give it a shot. Well, that's about all I have for you today. Try one of these troughs. Maybe, oh yeah, you heard of healing. With the purpose of healing, I found out, was the more, as the plant grows, you keep healing it with hay. And you just keep going. That trough should be filled up, and there should be potatoes growing layer after layer. It just continues to grow potatoes as you keep on, healing your potatoes. And I want to see if I can really get a massive amount of potatoes. You might need a little, tiny little, place like this to do your potatoes, and that's all you need to do to get a lot of potatoes. But anyway, I got a lot growing this year. And pretty soon, I'll be seeing those cucumbers. They'll be coming. And I got a watermelon Jubilee. Got 2 of those growing. My other plants, I put jute rope, very soft, on the plant. And I'll show you a picture of that before I leave. You take care. Garden, fantastic. That's the thing to do. And this time we might have famine. You don't know. Or just shortage supply of things. And like in my last video, you don't know how other gardeners or other people, farmers, what kind of sewage they're putting in there for fertilizer in their fields to grow the produce that we buy. And the hard minerals and the hard substances and chemicals that's in that fertilizer, it doesn't go out of the body once you take it. It can produce cancer and all that. That's why I'm growing my garden. I want a purest garden I can have in this day and age. And God bless you all. See ya. Goodbye.